Let me start this video with a question. What comes to your mind when you hear the number 11? I know what comes to my mind. Attackers. And not just attackers generally, but crazy world-class wingers like Gareth Bale, Mohamed Salah, Neymar Jr., Rodrigo. All deadly wingers. So what on earth made this guy pick the number 11? A goalie rocking the number 11. Crazy, right? And what is even more crazy is the reason behind this. And it doesn't only go for this goalie. There are many other players with hidden meanings to their jersey number, and you're about to see the full thing. Let's start with Phil Foden and his number 47. You see, many people think this guy is still rocking this number because all the other fancy numbers like 7, 11, 10, and 9 are all taken. And now he is stuck with his academy number. I also used to think this was the case until I heard the true story behind it, and it is a pretty sad one. You see, as a kid, Phil Foden and his grandfather, Ronnie, had something really special. They had a bond that no one could break. They did everything together, and Phil Foden became a smaller version of his grandfather. He fell in love with the same things his grandfather loved, and one of these things was Manchester City. Because of this, young Foden joined the team as a ball boy. He didn't mind settling for this because this was his and his grandfather's favourite team. But things changed for Foden. The academy coach saw that the boy could do a lot more than run after balls and toss them back into the pitch. This boy can actually play. He got invited to join the academy team, and I can only imagine how glad his granddad felt. His grandson is now a player for his favourite team. Things were coming up for both of them as Foden grew into becoming an important player for City's youth team. Until something really sad happened. Ronnie died. Foden almost lost it. This was the man that made him fall in love with City in the first place, and now that he's a player for the team, the man can't even watch him play. Foden knew he had to do something to keep Ronnie with him on the pitch, and he came up with the cutest idea. Ronnie died when he was only 47, and Foden decided that would be his jersey number. But having that number at the back of his jersey was not enough for Foden. He had it tattooed to his neck. Things we do for family, am I right? But Foden isn't the only baller to have a family member decide his jersey number. Zlatan also showed us how much his family means to him. Zlatan is without a doubt one of the greatest footballers of his generation. This is not even up for argument. This guy has played in the best teams in the world: Barcelona, Manchester United, PSG, AC Milan again, and he has scored over 500 goals in his career. He is no cap a really successful footballer. But this success is not all he is known for. His unique personality is. Zlatan is never wrong. He is the god of football, and you can never tell him what to do. I repeat, you can never tell this guy what to do. Well, unless you're his son. You see, when Zlatan joined AC Milan again, the team showed him all the available numbers and asked him to pick one. I mean, you can't give Zlatan a number. He is a god. He has to be the one to pick what he likes. But this time, Zlatan didn't pick for himself, and he asked his son to pick what he liked. And for some reason, his son went for the number 21. And just like that, we saw Zlatan rock this number in AC Milan. But one time Zlatan was asked why he picked this number, and he decided to troll CR7. He said he wanted to show him that he was 3 times better than him. Do you see what he did there? 7 times 3? I'm sure you get it. And speaking of Ronaldo, can you believe he never wanted the number 7? All through Ronaldo's early days as a footballer, he wore other numbers. In fact, he never really liked it. This guy was fine with numbers like 17, 11, even 28. Someone even said Ronaldo at 14 would pick 84 over the number 7. But I guess life had other plans for CR7. He joined Manchester United from Sporting in 2004. In Sporting, he was happily wearing the number 28, and for the Portuguese under-21 team, he was wearing 11. So now in United, he asked for either 28 or 11. These were the numbers he loved. But Sir Alex Ferguson wanted something different. He wanted him to wear number 7. Ronaldo was not comfortable with this. Aside from the fact that he never saw himself wearing this number, he felt that number was for legends. And you can't blame him for thinking this way. I mean, look at the guys that wore that number before him: Eric Cantona, George Best and David Beckham. These guys were the GOATs of their generation, and Ronaldo was just a little kid from Portugal. He knew he wasn't that guy yet, and he simply turned down the number. But Sir Alex knew something no one else knew, something even Ronaldo did not know. Sir Alex knew this guy had what it takes to become the best, and forcing him to wear that number would make him challenge himself to perform like the greats. And yeah, CR7 had no choice but to take the number, and the rest is history. This guy is now the greatest number 7 in sports history. It's almost like the Portuguese now have a copyright to the number. And there's another Portuguese player with a more shocking reason behind his jersey number, Rui Patricio. I know you've been waiting for this one. So Rui joined Wolves as a replacement goalie for Carl Ikeme. Carl was a fan favourite at Wolves. Everyone loved this guy, and that's because of the role he played in carrying the team back into the Premier League. Carl was the ideal footballer for Wolves, and when it looked like he'd settle with them for years, things took a sad turn. The doctors told him he had leukemia, and he had to retire to take care of himself. Carl didn't listen. His passion didn't let him stay down. My man continued playing, but he could not push himself for long. His body failed him, and he had to hang his gloves earlier than he or the team wanted. This was a really sad moment for him, and the club decided to honour him by making his jersey number 1 untouchable. Rui Patricio came in as a replacement and picked up number 11. But as you already know, not all jersey numbers have a sad meaning behind them. Sometimes players pick their numbers just to show how creative they can be. Take Jude Bellingham, for example. Back to when this guy was still at Birmingham City, he did something crazy with his jersey number. So, get this, he and some of his friends just got promoted from the academy team to the main team, and they were asked to pick jersey numbers. While others were busy fighting for the fancy numbers like 10 and 8 for midfielders, Jude just sat back and waited for everyone to satisfy themselves. Then he made his own move. You know he is a midfielder, and the usual numbers for midfielders are 4, 8 and 10. He decided to prove to the other midfielders in the team that he could do all their jobs at once by combining the numbers 4, 10 and 8. And if you do the math, that's 22. So Jude went for the number 22, and I guess the wonder worked for him, because he really played like 3 midfielders combined into one, and now in Real Madrid, he is doing the same. But this isn't the only time a footballer used math to pick a jersey number. Mario Balotelli also did something pretty similar. Mario has always been one to get the world talking. He just knew the right strings to pull. And he didn't just start this when he became a world-famous star. He already started as early as his first team as a pro player in a main team. Mario, after performing well in Inter's academy, got promoted to the main team. And you know how it is for young footballers who just got promoted from the academy? They'll have to settle for the weird numbers because the main numbers would be with the big boys. Mario's case was not different in any way. All the main numbers in Inter were taken, and he had to pick from 36 to 50. Mario didn't just lose interest and randomly pick any number. He decided to get creative with it. You see, Mario always wanted the number 9, so he picked 45, 4 plus 5. To Mario, he didn't care how it looked, he just wanted 9 on his back, and I guess he got it. And speaking of players that know how to get the world talking, there's Neymar. This guy is always the center of attention, and he does not even have to do much to get the attention. But that's not what we're here to discuss. His jersey number is the main deal now. The Brazil national team have this special respect they give to their number 10s. From Pelé, there's Zico, there's Kaká, Ronaldinho, and of course Neymar. But you get this point. This number is always reserved for the best of the best. It somehow feels like a crown. So before Neymar, Ronaldinho was the one with the crown. And for a while, it looked like no one was good enough to take it from him. Even Ronaldinho was looking for the next price that will take. Not like there weren't good Brazilian players, but no one had that aura like Ronaldinho. But then a young Neymar came along and shocked everyone. It was hard to agree this guy was worthy because every touch this guy took with the ball made all Brazilians think about prime Ronaldinho. Even Ronaldinho watched this guy play, and it was as if he was watching himself. He knew right there and then that Neymar must take the number. And just like that, Ronaldinho transferred the number 10 to Neymar. But Neymar wasn't the first player to collect the number 10 from Ronaldinho. Ever thought of how and why Messi got that number? At the time, Messi joined Barcelona. The number 10 was with Ronaldinho. Messi took the 30, and this wasn't a problem for anyone. Messi was pretty much unknown, and Ronaldinho was one of the best in the world. Messi was just a kid on the bench, but one day Messi got the chance to play, and Ronaldinho couldn't believe his eyes. The little kid had a magical touch. The ball never left his feet. Ronaldinho couldn't get enough of this, and when Messi scored his goal by converting a crazy pass from Ronaldinho, the Brazilian knew that Messi would replace him, especially as he's getting older. The time to leave Barca finally came, and before Ronaldinho left, he asked Pep for one last favour, and that was that Messi will be the player to take his number, and Pep was more than happy to grant this wish. And just like that, Messi became Barca's 10, and even the greatest 10 in football's history. Or am I wrong? Is Messi the greatest 10 in the history of football? Or is it Pelé? Or maybe you think it's Maradona? Head to the comment section and type in who you think is the best 10 in the history of football. Don't forget to drop a like on this video, and I'll see you in the next one.